All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, veterans, and you crazy, wacky people out there that for some reason love us veterans. Hey, but we love you too. Welcome to another edition of your Monday Mandatory Motivation. This is episode 006, and we got Marc Manilla. He is the chapter coordinator of Team River Runner at Fort Benning, Georgia. So, hey, stick with us, folks. It's going to be a great episode. It's going to give you something to do here for the summer. Hey, Marc, what is going on, brother? Long time.
Yeah, not much down here in Fort Benning, Georgia.
How's the weather down there, man?
It's nice. It's your typical basic training weather. Muggy, 90 degrees, sunny, hurricanes in the future. You know, the whole good Fort Benning, Georgia weather.
What are they saying about that? People are going to hear this on Monday, but what are they saying on Friday?
It's going to Louisiana, so I'm actually going to the beach here soon, but it should be over by the time I get down there. It's going through Louisiana, and it's missing us, but should be fun for when I get down to Destin next week.
Yeah, good times, man. Well, hey, Marc, this is the first time you've been on here hosting on the show, man. Give everybody just a little bit of your background. Obviously, you're active duty, so we really don't want to hear your story because your saga is not complete. But once you retire, man, we definitely, you and I talked, you're going to come on the show. But for now, man, give everybody, a brief background on you, and then we'll jump into the reason why we're here supporting this amazing organization that you're coordinator for.
Yeah, enlisted in the military in 2003 and, had an opportunity to go to Iraq and with 212 infantry out of 2ID from Fort Carson, Then I joined you to the Korengal Valley deployment, where IPRO was always mandatory.
Hey, you got to keep your vision, man.
And so, done everything, platoon sergeant. Now I'm a first sergeant down here at Fort Benning. Leading soldiers and living the trade-off life.
Hey, man, I'm proud of you, brother.
Thanks.
I'm proud of you. You were a dynamic squad leader back in the day, and to know that you're out there leading soldiers as a first sergeant, that feels good, man. That feels good.
Yeah, I had a lot of good mentors growing up, out of Carson. So
yeah, you did, man. You had some good platoon sergeants. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. So you've got a lot of stuff, man, going on. But what's your focus? What's the focus for you?
I came back down here to Fort Benning for the second time, and Columbus had built this whitewater center. It's called Rush South, and I, wife wasn't with me yet. Yeah, I'd been here for a couple months, and I told myself I got to get out there, and I already had a passion for whitewater sports growing up, through my family, and then always another piece of that was Martell, Josh Campbell, and Monty. We ended up kayaking down there in Canyon City. It was whitewater rafting in Canyon City. Martell, took us down there for that, and I thought a lot about that in the future. And I got here, and I was like, man, I need to get out here. I need to learn something new. I need that. I'm missing that adrenaline rush in my life and that passion. And then I started taking lessons and. Kind of, fast forward 2 years later, and here we are.
So kayaking is your big thing now.
Yeah, kayaking. So, came down here, did lessons, and it was a little difficult because beginner kayakers are kind of not shunned, but kind of you don't get as much attention from all the other kayakers if you're not as good. And so I continued to pay for lessons, and I wanted to get good. I wanted to get good fast, and I wanted to be better. I wanted to not be able to swim out of my kayak. I wanted to be able to roll up, and so I took the lessons, and then I started to get a little better and better. And about 5 months ago, with the help of some kayakers in Atlanta, I introduced Team River Runner chapter, the first one here to Fort Benning, Georgia, Columbus area.
Nice, man. Nice. Now, what did the folks out of Atlanta? What they do for you, man, to get you the bump that you needed?
Yeah, so Laura Dillon was a big driving factor, and she's up in Team River Runner Chattanooga. But Team River Runner is a national organization with chapters all over the United States,
Except for Oklahoma.
Except for Oklahoma, but there can be one.
I know. Hopefully, somebody listens to this and they jump on it.
Yeah, but she was heavy in Team River Runner and loved supporting veterans, and I met her, and she gave me some boats and some gear, and she's like, hey, try to get some of these active duty soldiers, get them involved, get them out there, and it's awesome for the mind, and for these guys coming back from deployments, it gives you that, maybe not the same amount of adrenaline rush, but it's close. So me knowing that already and not knowing that Team River Runner had existed, I took her up on that offer, and ever since I've been trying to get this program up and running here to give soldiers, active duty, retired, disabled, veterans, maybe something they've been missing out in their lives.
Right. Hey, so what kind of challenge is it, man, in kayaking? Can you point out some of the challenges that do exist, for the beginner coming in? What are the big challenges that they face that you can kind of help them be like, hey, this happens to everybody, just deal with it and you'll get through?
Yes, every time we get a soldier in a kayak, they're very surprised on how much movement is in that kayak, how easy it is for them to roll over, and then be underwater, flipped over, and so it's really having that balance, having that core strength and that balance is a surprising factor to them, and then you see people being able to roll their kayaks upright. It takes people. Although veterans catch on quickly, but that's something that surprises them, is not being able to do it right off the bat and having to learn those fundamentals, those basic fundamentals of getting that kayak back upright. So that's the thing where we really emphasize when we get, beginner kayakers out there, and you're going to fail. Like if you have never kayaked and you're coming out and you're going to kayak, you're going to fail. You have to expect that, but you have to be willing to learn it, and then once you learn it, it's done. Like it was for me. I love the sport, and I've been doing it every weekend ever since.
Now, what about I saw some pictures, man. They're on your Facebook page. They're at the old bridge there in Columbus on the river.
Yeah.
You guys do like late night, kind of like dusk or something like that, like.
Yeah, I tell you what, Columbus, uptown Columbus, Rush South, they built this white water park, and they did pretty much everything right with it. And one of the awesome things they did was they put stadium lights out there.
Really?
Yeah, so if I want to go kayak tonight at 9, 10 p.m., I could go out there to the island, hop in that wave, do some surfing, and have those lights project down, and it's a whole different experience. And there's so many activities here, and that's just one that really everyone dreads coming to Columbus. Fort Benning has a duty assignment. Maybe not everybody, but a lot of guys do, and there's so much opportunity down there, especially having that white water course.
Now, hey, would you, is that thing like an Olympic course? Is that what it has the capability to do? Would you say?
No,
not that big.
There's some features out here that we've had some tournaments on. I've actually been able to participate in a couple kayaking competitions out here, and they do have competitions out here. Maybe not Olympics yet, because the surfing aspect of whitewater kayaking hasn't really caught on to that Olympic stage. There are national teams, but there are awesome features out there, and yeah, I mean, you'd have to see it. I mean, I'm sure you can see it from Facebook, but there's some huge waves and you got everyone coming out there, surfers, the body boards and rafters, and it's everybody.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet, man. I think Austin built something like that, didn't they? Like a big surf.
Yeah. So
it's got like a huge anchor that like gets pulled, right? And makes some
wakeboarding.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have that wakeboarding facility. Actually, I was at Fort Hood, Texas, and I was down there. We watched Jaws on the water down there. But yeah, it's a giant wakeboard facility. Unfortunately, there's no rapids, but definitely an awesome place if you want to learn to wakeboard.
Yeah. Hey, so somebody comes there, coming through, the Columbus, Fort Benning area, for school or, to visit somebody or, tons of reunions and graduations going on in that area. I mean, it's the infantry home, man, the home of the infantry.
Yeah.
So what's it cost for somebody to get in there and spend a couple hours?
So, it's nothing. I mean, if they contact me and if they have, whitewater experience and they want some gear and a boat, I got it. And it's at no cost. I'll have them sign a waiver and we'll get them out on the water and I'll show them the river myself. But then, every Thursday we have something called Throwdown Thursdays. And from 5:30 to 7:30, it could be family members. It could be, active duty, retired, military, disabled. They can come on down to, the island down here at Fort Benning, and they'll get a 2-hour block of instruction for free. We got some, ACA certified instructors from Whitewater Express. We've got the Hargrove family that comes down. Their sons just won, the world championships in kayaking.
Oh, man.
So we got a lot of awesome volunteers down here who just want to introduce the sport. If you like it, continue coming out. We've had some guys that came out, they loved it, they bought gear. And we had some guys come out that said, maybe I'm a little more scared of water than I thought I was. But either way, it's free and it's an opportunity for families, wives, whoever to come out and, experience something new.
Hey, how many kids have you come out there that have jumped in? You've got little kayaks, right, for the kids?
I can get little kayaks. So, like I said, we partner up with the Hargrove family. They're a local family. Their kids kayak from 5 to 12 years old. They're in kayaks. They're not really learning the roll yet, but they're paddling around in really safe kayaks with safe whitewater gear on. We wear helmets. I have level 5, level 4, level 5 life jackets. So we practice, safety in the water, especially. If anything, you get that aspect of training out of it, because you just got to be safe when you do the sport. But we have all the equipment that, that'll get people started.
Yeah. Hey, so Marc, when we talk about, this, man, this is an excellent way to get, like you said, man, to get into paddling, and see if it's really yours, if it's something you want to do before you jump in and start spending the money on it. But describe for us, man, what a weekend would look like, out with the family, out with the friends. Somebody was going to take their kids out. Where do people go to, and what does that weekend look like in kayaking terms?
So, I mean, down here in Columbus, we're not, centralized to some of the good rivers up north, but they're about 3 hours away. So once you get involved in paddling, you're going to want to explore other rivers. We got, the Manilla National Forest up north that has an awesome class 2, 3 river, really safe. And then you got a Coe River, and you got within 4 hours, you got some of the best whitewater on the East Coast. So you have that aspect, but it's also friendly, family friendly camping. It's definitely a way to get out of the Fort Benning, Atlanta area and then get back into those mountains and really enjoy something new. If we're here in Columbus, a lot of times we just head down to the island. It's got a whitewater section, and then on the backside, it's got, a flat water section where kids can swim or they can learn the fundamentals of kayaking. So, and it's free. No one has to pay to go out on this river in a kayak.
I had one of the two brothers that lived above me, man, when I lived in San Marcos, Texas. They had they had gone up north and kayaked all the way down the river that runs through there. I can't even remember the name of it right now. I always wanted to do that, man, because they said it's like a 2 or 3 day trip.
Yeah.
You just go for a while, you stop. Like, I guess you just find like a good place to beach up and just camp, have a good time, start up the next morning and keep kind of going.
Yeah. I mean, tons of opportunity. And then, so being a part of Team River Runner, and having all of these networks all across the United States, they send me emails from Idaho saying, hey, we got, 3 spots for, a 8-day trip down, this river. It'll be camping. It'll be paid for. We'll pay for the plane ticket. And, I have the opportunity to, see if anybody's interested. Soldiers want to take leave, or they want to, get off the grid. Being part of this organization and having that opportunity is, been really good for this community. It's only going to grow, continue to grow.
Dude, that's awesome, man. Man, I hope some veterans reach out to them and get a trip like that, man. 3 or 4 days, man, on the water, just kind of relaxing, just kind of being, I could just imagine, man, like we were talking about, you were going to hike the Appalachian Trail when you finished it up. And just what that means to be out there, kind of on your own, kind of in your own, like you're in your own head, but you're kind of working through stuff.
Yeah. It's like, to me, it would feel like a major reset, no electronics, just relaxing, paddling, camping, it's really going back to what probably the human civilization should be. And I'm looking forward to, getting out of the military and experiencing that, hopefully before I jump into another career.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that'd be fun. No, man, I love floating, man. Get to, I used to have to like paddle upstream because I had more room down, down. So I would paddle up to get more room. And then I would just let it just bring me down. I would just sit there and float, take a nap, drink a couple beers. It was fun, man.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun, and when you add some white water into that, it's even more fun. You get the adrenaline, and it's an awesome sport. I think everything on the water, on rivers, on in nature is a lot of fun.
Now, how many people you typically go out with there? From some of the pictures, man, it looks like you got a pretty good group. What's your average there? Yeah,
so I mean, Thursdays varies anywhere between we'll get 15 to 20 one day, and the next day we'll get 6, or the next week we'll get like 6, 7. So it varies, and it's really me trying to get the word out there since we're so new. It's a little more difficult. And when I first started this, when I first brought this up, it was a pool session on Fort Benning, and it was in February. And I'm pushing out these flyers to soldiers, to boss, to these programs. And I'm like, hey, come learn how to whitewater kayak. And everyone's looking at me like, is this guy crazy? Like, it's like 50 degrees outside. I'm not going to go learn how to kayak. And, when I started telling people it's going to be in a pool, they got a little more intrigued. Once we get in a pool in the winter, we can teach them how to roll. Then by the summertime,
they're ready to go.
And they're good to go.
Yeah.
Right? I think our first lesson, we had about 1 person there. There were 2 people maybe. So it was a little upsetting because, we have this awesome facility here, and I just think it was probably because of the outreach. But after that time, after I continued to push the word out, and those people came to my lessons, they only grew from there. But I've had a lot of support here, and Whitewater Express, the local outfitter, has been giving me instructors for free, and these are world-class instructors. And then again, the Hargrove family has been huge on outreach and volunteering their time from work and their kids to come out to teach active duty veterans, and and they don't do it for anything. They do it because they love the military and they love kayaking, and they want people to love it with them. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty much the same way, as they are.
Hey, so what's the next big event you guys have going on down your way?
So we got a fundraiser going on. It's not really for kayaking, but it's more along the lines of rafting. It's kind of introducing people to the whitewater scene, and that's it's gonna be called Warriors on the Water, and it's September 14th. And what you do is you go to Whitewater Express and you do some rafting, and those proceeds are going to come back to Team River Runner and Objective Zero, and they're going to go back to the soldiers.
Right.
No one in Team River Runner Fort Benning, is on salary. Everything that I get is going to go back to the soldier in a form of gear or free lessons or swiftwater rescue. It's going back to the soldier.
Yeah. Hey, so certification, man, is it are there like different levels of certification that you guys do, or that they can get, or?
Yeah, I mean, so we have some classes called swiftwater rescue classes, and that's really outside of the kayak, and that's really just learning whitewater, how to read whitewater. As far as kayaking, you could be an instructor, and it stops from there. Like I've competed against, some world-class kayakers in competitions, but I still consider myself an amateur. So it's really your level and what you perceive yourself to be. You're either, you're beginner, novice, amateur, pro. It really is how you articulate it. And I mean, you're always learning something every time you're out there on the water.
Now, are you going to be going through the Warriors on the Water too? Like when you go down there, they're like kayakers that you get with, and you get training to take your skills to the next level.
Yeah. Every time I kayak, doesn't really matter who with. I learn something new, and there's so many different types of kayaking. You got creeking, you got play boating, and that's what we do down here is a lot of play boating. We get into the waves and we surf it, and we do tricks, and there's so many different types of kayaking, and there's sit on top kayaking, and then not just kayaking. You got stand up paddleboard. They do that for whitewater now.
Wow.
I was never able to actually stand up on it, but they're out there. You see them standing on a sup board going down the rapids, and you're like, oh, that guy makes it look really easy. And then you go out there and it's not so easy. And I've learned that the hard way.
Yeah.
But there's just so much involved in the river, and especially down here in Columbus, that not taking advantage of it is it's not worth it. You got to get out there and you got to try something new.
Yeah, definitely, man. I got to tell you, man, I was really, really impressed, man, with this, Team River Runner had taken 5 blind veterans guided, 226 miles down the Colorado River into the Grand Canyon, for 12 days, man. That just, I'm starting to think of, just the logistics with that, and the amount of people that you had to have just in support. That's amazing effort, man, because a lot of people think like, well, that's just 5 people, man. You've got like all this stuff for 5 people, but you're talking about, veterans that are blind, and giving them the ability to go out there and experience that, to let their hearts soar a little bit, to have that nervous energy that, through evolution, that's how, it's good for us,
Yeah, like
that's amazing.
Those
man.
guys train too. I mean, that's not easy training, and those guys had to train. Those vets, those blind vets. I mean, there's beeping systems out there to, and their guides were their lifelines, and that's a lot of trust, not only for themselves, but they have to put that trust in those guides.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of made me fall in love with the organization, was their genuine care for the veterans. And Joe Mornini, created this out of Maryland from Walter Reed and really emphasize, those disabled veterans on giving them a purpose. And even for me, I actually joined, I created this chapter after, those kayakers went down the Grand Canyon. But that was a big turning point for me was, it's awesome. It's an awesome feat for those veterans, but then, for those guides to help those guys down, people need to check out that video. I think teamriverrunner.org has that video.
Yeah,
website.
They've got another one on there. I think that's the other point, for veterans out there. If you've got some veterans out there, folks, that that, they need adaptive equipment in order for them to do sports. Team River Runner, they've got kayaks that they've adapted, and they're doing amazing stuff. Like I mentioned on a couple episodes ago, Ryan Major. I know I'm saying his name, and you don't even know me, but they got him in a kayak, man. And he was rolling, he was doing everything, and the comments he had on there. There's a video on their page that you really should listen to. That Ryan's on, and it's. He's an inspiration, man. And, I love organizations that give veterans a chance to get back to as close as they can to normal. You know what I'm saying? A lot of experience stretching and stuff like that. You got to put good stuff in front of them. I love what you guys are doing, man. That's...
it really is a good it's an awesome organization. And I told them I wanted to start it up down here, and they said, what do you need? And I said... I need these 4 kayaks, and a week later on my doorstep and my wife thought there were 4 bodies, but there were 4 kayaks on the front porch. And I was like, this is awesome. Like, and ever since, active duty soldiers come up to me and they're like, hey, I don't want to mess your kayak up. And I'm like, hey man, this kayak is your kayak. Like, you're going to learn on this thing. You're going to fall in love with the sport. And then one of these days you'll go out and you'll buy your own kayak. But for now, this is your kayak. This is your gear. Let's use it because it's not for me. It's for them. So, it is an awesome organization. I'm glad. Very fortunate they started it. Yeah,
Mark, you guys are doing great work down there, dude. And hey, once again, man. If you get to a point where you need to come on the episode again to update us on stuff, like I said, if you need any help with, pushing everything, we're going to get this post out there, get this episode, share it as far as we can. Once again, you can use it for your website, man, for your stuff. Any way we can help you, you let us know. All right.
Awesome.
And, hey, everybody, reach out to Team River Runner. And if you're in the Fort Benning area and you're active duty, retired, disabled, veteran, whatever the case may be, link up with them. They're on Facebook, Team River Runner Fort Benning. Link up with Mark. I'm telling you, they've got, if you want it, you want to do it, they've got it for you. And like Mark said, it's a great way to center yourself and get a reset going.
Yeah, they can message me on the Facebook, and I'll respond pretty quickly. So they can hit me up anytime.
Heck yeah! All right, Mark. Well, hey, man, we will talk to. I'll talk to you again, but the podcast will talk to you again about kayaking in about in about 4 years. Is that what we're looking at?
Let's hope.
You got 16 in now, right?
16, yeah.
So. 4 if you don't make sergeant major, but I kind of have a feeling that's probably going to happen. But hey, I'll tell you what, man, we will be here when you retire, and you can continue doing what you do best, man, which is taking care of soldiers, taking care of veterans, and kayaking, man.
Awesome, yeah, I appreciate it.
All right, brother. Hey, we'll catch you later. Hey, everybody. Hey, this has been Heart of a Volunteer Veterans Podcast. This has been your Monday mandatory motivation. Hey, continue to like, continue to share. Give us some comments. Let us know what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong. Hey, I'll do what I can to fix it, make it better. I want veterans to be proud of the show. I want them to come on and share it and be a part of it. So, hey, everyone, hey, stay fired up for the week. Get after it. This is yours to win. Only you can make it happen. So, hey, enjoy it. Heart of a Volunteer, copyright 2019.